From its mind-bending shape to its drifting moon, Earth is full of surprises that challenge what we think we know. You might think you've got this planet figured out, but there's always something new to learn. Starting with the striking revelation that Earth isn't actually round. Most people believe Earth is a perfect sphere, but that's not entirely true. Because of its constant spinning, Earth bulges slightly at the equator and flattens at the poles. This makes it an oblate spheroid rather than a perfect ball. The difference isn't huge, but it's enough that if you measured across the equator, it would be about 27 miles wider than measuring from pole to pole. Gravity also plays a role in these shape variations, as different land masses and ocean depths create tiny shifts in Earth's surface. This slight bulge isn't visible to the human eye, but advanced satellite measurements confirm it. So, while Earth may look round in pictures, its shape is more complex than it seems. Next, let's talk about something even more surprising. The Moon isn't staying where it is. It's slowly drifting away, and that has major consequences. The Moon is drifting away from Earth. The Moon might seem like it has always been in the same spot, but in reality, it's moving away from Earth by about 1.5 inches per year. This happens because of a fascinating interaction between the Earth's oceans and the Moon's gravity. The Moon pulls on Earth's water, creating tides, and in return, this movement gradually pushes the Moon into a higher orbit. While this change is tiny each year, over millions of years, it can add up. Scientists believe that when the Moon first formed, it was much closer to Earth and would have looked enormous in the sky. In the far future, this drift may make solar eclipses a thing of the past, as the Moon will appear too small to completely block the Sun. Now that we've talked about something far above Earth, let's dive deep into the oceans and explore the biggest living structure on the planet, coral reefs. Coral reefs are the largest living structures on Earth. Coral reefs are not just beautiful, they are the largest living structures on Earth. The most famous one, the Great Barrier Reef, stretches over 1,400 miles, so massive it can be seen from space. But what makes them live? Corals are tiny marine animals called polyps, which build limestone skeletons over thousands of years. These skeletons form the reef, providing a home for over 25% of all marine species. However, coral reefs are under threat. Rising ocean temperatures cause coral bleaching, where corals expel the algae that keep them alive, turning them white and fragile. Pollution and acidification also harm these delicate ecosystems. Scientists use satellite technology to track changes in coral reefs, hoping to protect them before it's too late. Speaking of Earth's natural wonders, did you know that most of our planet's fresh water is stored in one place? Let's head to Antarctica to find out more. Antarctica holds 70% of the world's fresh water. Antarctica might look like a frozen wasteland, but it actually holds 70% of Earth's fresh water in its massive ice sheets. If all of that ice melted, global sea levels would rise by over 200 feet, flooding major cities around the world. The continent is also home to the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth, -130 Fahrenheit. But Antarctica isn't just frozen and lifeless. Scientists have discovered hidden subglacial lakes where strange microorganisms thrive, proving that life can exist in extreme environments. These findings even help researchers study how life might survive on other planets. Climate scientists closely monitor Antarctica's ice using satellites like Cryosat to understand how it's changing. Warming temperatures are causing some ice sheets to shrink, which could have serious consequences for our oceans. As Antarctica's ice shifts, something else is also on the move: Earth's magnetic pole. Let's uncover this next fascinating fact. Earth's magnetic pole is moving. The magnetic North Pole is not fixed in one spot like the geographic North Pole. Instead, it drifts across the Arctic and has moved over 600 miles in the past century. Scientists believe this is due to changes in Earth's molten iron core, which generates the planet's magnetic field. Recently, this movement has sped up, shifting towards Siberia at 40 miles per year. This affects compasses, navigation systems, and even GPS satellites, which must be updated regularly to stay accurate. The shifting pole has led to speculation about whether Earth's magnetic field could flip, meaning the North and South poles would switch places. While this has happened in Earth's past, scientists don't expect a flip anytime soon. Now that we've explored what's happening beneath our feet, let's take a journey to one of the driest places on Earth, the Atacama Desert. The Atacama Desert is the driest place on Earth. When you think of dry places, the Sahara Desert might come to mind, but it's actually the Atacama Desert in Chile that holds the title for the driest non-polar region on Earth. Some areas of the Atacama have gone hundreds of years without rain. In fact, scientists believe that parts of this desert haven't seen rainfall in at least 500 years. The reason? It's trapped between the Andes Mountains and the Pacific Ocean, creating a natural rain shadow where moisture simply doesn't reach. Despite its extreme dryness, the Atacama is home to unique plants and even microorganisms that can survive with almost no water. NASA has studied this desert because its environment is similar to Mars, making it a great place to test space exploration equipment. From the driest desert, let's move to an entirely different extreme, the Tibetan Plateau, also known as Earth's third pole. The Tibetan Plateau is called the third pole. You've heard of the North and South poles, but did you know there's a third pole? The Tibetan Plateau, located in Central Asia, holds the largest supply of fresh water outside the polar regions. It has over 46,000 glaciers, which feed some of the world's most important rivers, including the Yangtze, Mekong, and Ganges. Millions of people depend on these rivers for drinking water, agriculture, and hydroelectric power. However, these glaciers are melting rapidly due to climate change. Scientists have found that some glaciers in the Himalayas are disappearing twice as fast as they were just a few decades ago. If this trend continues, it could lead to water shortages and extreme weather events across Asia. Now that we've explored Earth's ice reserves, let's take a look at what's happening beneath the surface. Did you know Earth's interior is actually squishy? Earth's interior is squishy and always moving. Beneath Earth's crust lies a hot, semi-liquid layer called the mantle, which is constantly moving. The intense heat inside Earth causes the mantle to flow very slowly, moving tectonic plates around. This movement is responsible for earthquakes, volcanoes, and mountain formation. One fascinating result of this is post-glacial rebound. When large glaciers melt, the land that was once pressed down slowly rises over thousands of years. This is still happening in places like Canada and Scandinavia, where the land is literally lifting after being compressed by Ice Age glaciers. Scientists use satellites to track these movements, helping us understand Earth's deep interior. Speaking of fascinating natural processes, did you know that trees are more than just silent plants? They actually communicate with each other underground. Trees talk to each other using an underground network. It turns out that trees aren't just standing around quietly. They're communicating with each other through an underground network called the Wood Wide Web. This system is made up of fungal connections that allow trees to share nutrients, send warning signals, and even help weaker trees survive. Older, more established trees, known as mother trees, play a key role by nurturing younger trees and directing resources where they're needed. Scientists have discovered that when a tree is attacked by pests, it can send chemical distress signals through this network to alert nearby trees to defend themselves. This hidden world beneath our feet is proof that nature is far more interconnected than we ever imagined. Now that we've looked at what's happening underground, let's talk about one of the biggest surprises in Earth's geography. Mount Everest isn't actually the tallest mountain. The tallest mountain isn't. Mount Everest, the true tallest mountain, is Mauna Kea in Hawaii. Mauna Kea's base starts deep underwater, and when measured from there to its peak, it reaches a staggering 34,000 feet, making it 4,500 feet taller than Everest. However, because much of Mauna Kea is submerged, it doesn't get the same recognition. Even more interesting, Everest itself is still growing by about 4 millimeters every year due to shifting tectonic plates. Scientists predict that in the distant future, Everest could be even taller than it is today. Earth is full of surprises, from its shifting shape to its hidden underground networks. No matter how much we think we know, our planet always has new wonders waiting to be discovered. Whether it's the moon drifting away, coral reefs shaping entire ecosystems, or mountains that defy expectations, Earth is a constant source of mystery and awe. Which of these facts amazed you the most? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.